I have locked both Real Madrid and Barcelona into the Premier League. And we're going to go 5 years into the future, going through each and every season and see how can Real Madrid do and Barcelona in the Premier League. Can they actually win the Premier League? Also, on a side note, what 2 teams are missing? Let me know in the comments section. Right, stop right there 1 second because I have some important news for you. FM24 is out now for early access. And of course, I have a code just for you to save a little bit of extra money. If you go below this video, of course, there's a link there to Fanatical. If you go in there, you can find a copy of FM24 for a reasonable price already. But if you add the code MURPH24 at checkout, you can even save a few more pennies. You can get the game for as little as £35 and just 5 pence. It's an absolute steal for a game you're going to put in hundreds of hours into this year in FM24. That's enough of me. Let's go back to other me. Let's get back to the video. A bit more of a deep dive, of course. Real Madrid make the switch over to the Premier League. The only thing is, though, both teams will not compete in the Champions League this season because they've only just moved over to the Premier League. But they will also be in the Spanish trophies as well. So they're going to make the trip over to Spain, play games there, and come back. We're going to Real Madrid's schedule now. You can see here, a little further down the line, they will have a Spanish Super Cup here. Super Cup semi-final against Atletico Madrid over in Saudi Arabia. It's not even going to Spain. They're going all to Saudi Arabia. They come back for the Premier League that same weekend, playing West Ham as well. So it's going to be a mad old season for Real Madrid going over to Saudi Arabia playing those games. I'm pretty sure Barcelona would be in the same boat as well, be in that other semi-final. Let's find out then, over the course of 5 years, how can Real Madrid and Barcelona get on within the Premier League? Can they obtain the trophy and beat Man City 2? Let's go forward and see what happens in season number 1. So the first screen we're welcomed by when we come back from the simulation, the end of season number 1, available jobs. Real Madrid job is available. That can only mean bad things have happened for Real Madrid, surely. If you look at the Premier League table now, Man City have actually won the league. Real Madrid came 5th and Barcelona came 6th, below Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea. That is absolutely insane. Their first season in the Premier League, they have failed to get into the top 4. Of course, the bigger Champions League football where the database has been built, but getting 5th and 6th in their first season, both Real Madrid and Barcelona, is quite insane. And whilst we're doing this, we're going to go through the teams briefly every season as well, see what has been changing, what's been changing in terms of transfers, ins and outs, ins and outs. Let me, has there been any big in ones happening in the last few months? Noni Baduke left PSG to come over here. Ignacio came over. Benacia, Lamar. So there's a few transfers coming in over here into Real Madrid. I wonder if I had much the same over at Barcelona as well in terms of transfers in and out through the door. Any big names leaving the club? Any big names joining the club as well over at Barcelona, of course. In real life, financially, they don't really have a lot. They've brought in someone called Mika Faye at the end of last season. That transfer's already happened. So no transfers happened so far in terms of Barcelona action. But the other end of things, sales. Is anyone left through the door for them? No, no loanees. But quite one for Barcelona, but both finishing both 5th and 6th respectively in the first season. Hang on. Sarri's manager at Barcelona. Where'd that come from? Mauricio Sarri's taken over from Xavi already. Has Real Madrid actually hired their new manager yet? At the moment, Alvaro Arabola is the takeover manager, caretaker manager, as it were. So both managers have changed in the first season, being in the Premier League, both failing to get in the top 4 in their first season in England. What an absolute madness. Another little fun part of this is as well, that Real Madrid and Barcelona are actually still playing in the Spanish Cup. As mentioned previously, they were in the Super Cup, but they're actually in the Copa del Rey as well. So Real Madrid got all the way to the final before losing to Osasuna on penalties over in that. Semi-final wise, Barcelona got knocked out by Osasuna in that round as well, whilst Madrid got past Athletic Bilbao before losing that final to Osasuna. So neither of the Spanish giants have managed to fly back to Spain and win their domestic trophy. What about English trophies though? What's been happening in terms of English trophies for these sides? Have they managed to collect anything in terms of the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, over in their stay in England? So it turns out in their first season in England, Barcelona have managed to win the Carabao Cup. Bit of an interesting shape they're going for here. And youngster Yamal playing up front already at the age of 16 as well. So interesting that they've gone for this sort of shape. No Lewandowski in the team here for Barcelona. But Barcelona have managed to win the Carabao Cup in their first season. And we have just looked as well. The FA Cup went over to Manchester City, beating Man United in that final. Did they get anywhere near it? Tottenham, Newcastle, quarterfinals. Real Madrid got knocked out by Man City. Where are Barcelona? Where'd they get knocked out? Just notice going into the actual fixtures here for Barcelona, they actually played Real Madrid in the FA Cup this year. In the 4th round replay, they lost 2-1 to Real Madrid. So Madrid knocked out Barcelona, but Barcelona went on to win the Carabao Cup, while Real Madrid end the season with 0 trophies. Let's go ahead then. Season number 2. What will happen to Real Madrid and Barcelona in the Premier League in season number 2? Right, so we're back for season number 2. You can see on screen now, Man City, they won the league again. Man City win the league again, but this time Real Madrid coming 2nd place this time, only behind by 6 points and 82 points. And Barcelona coming in 5th again. Barcelona are really not enjoying their state in England. To be fair, though, they are level on points with Arsenal and Liverpool, but only on goal difference, falling behind and not getting into 3rd spot in the Premier League this season. So a much better return for the 2 Spanish clubs, but what happened domestically? Have they managed to win anything this time around? I'll go to via Real Madrid's schedule first. You can see straight away, they actually won the FA Cup. They beat Chelsea in the FA Cup final on penalties. Goals from Militao and Rodrigo took it to penalties in the end. Goals from Alaba, Militao, Ignacio Rodrigo. Vinicius Junior missed one, but Luka Modric, still going at age 39, managed to get the all-important winner to give Real Madrid their first FA Cup. So in terms of the Carabao Cup this time, Barcelona could not retain their title. They were knocked out on penalties by Nottingham Forest. It actually went to Chelsea in the end, who beat Nottingham Forest in that final 4-0. So Chelsea win the Carabao Cup. We've seen the FA Cup, went to Real Madrid. Did they manage to win anything over back in Spain? As we go back to Spain now, for the Copa del Rey, it seems that Athletic Madrid have won the title this time around over there. In terms of the actual league title, have they won that as well? They came 4th. Celta Vigo won the league. Getafe. So the whole table's completely messed up. The likes of Madrid and Barcelona being gone from this league system. It seems to be absolutely everywhere. Last season, Madrid won it. Getafe, it's not too bad there. Obviously, you can see the teams now who got added into it as well. Brentford came 6th in La Liga last season. Whilst Everton, 10th in the Liga, absolutely stunk the place out. But this season, a little bit better for Everton. Didn't do that bad this time around. Brentford, though, getting 5th place in La Liga. Not a bad shout at all. Season number 2, in the bag. Lewandowski came 3rd in the Golden Boot, by the way. Okay, 18 goals. Owen Haaland, robot. We know how good he is. We know how good he is. Yeah, season number 3. Let's have a look at how things worked out in season number 3. So the Premier League, season number 3 in the 25-26 season. Man City, they've won the league yet again. They just keep winning the league, don't they? Chelsea in 2nd, Barcelona in 3rd, Real Madrid all the way down in 5th this time round. It wasn't so good this time for Real Madrid. What has been going on at Real Madrid this season? The Zerbi's the manager now. The Zerbi has been put as a new manager, interestingly enough, as well. I'm just wondering in terms of cups, they lost the Carabao Cup final to Aston Villa 2-1. Oh my days. And FA Cup boys were knocked out by Liverpool, who went on to losing the final to Arsenal as well. So neither team managing to win anything domestically in England this season. Ipswich went all the way to the semi-finals as well. Whereabouts did Barcelona make it this season? They won 3-0 against Sheffield United before going to the quarterfinals and then being knocked out by Tottenham. Tottenham knocked them out while Liverpool knocked out Real Madrid in that quarterfinals and knocked the 2 Spanish sides out of the FA Cup. So we didn't actually touch on the transfers last time out, what happened the last season, what's been happening since then. So some interesting ones happening. Abel Ruiz came in from Braga for 34 million, of course. He's a former Barcelona boy as well. He came to Barcelona, went to Braga, been there for a few years, and now been bought back for 34 million. He's been sold to Benfica since then as well, so it's very, very odd. Actually now gone back out to Benfica already in the space of just 1 year him being there. Dybala went in. Vitor Roque, of course, the transfer of the future. He's came in. Kalulu's came in since then. I mean, sales as well. Rafinha went over to Man City. Alonso went to Ettifaq over in the Saudi Arabian leagues as well. So a few interesting transfers happening so far. And in the most recent season, the biggest ones have been this one. Pedro and Calvez came in from Sporting for £40 million. Big, big move. Lenglet left, Pena left, Dest left on a free transfer for Gladbach as well. Lewandowski went over to Al Nassr. Is he still playing? Is he playing with Ronaldo? He can't be by this point, surely. John Stones is there with Laporte. The Man City pairing are there. That's absolutely insane. Ilkay Gundogan's gone there as well. Diego Costa has even gone there at age 26. He's already gone to Al Nassr. That's absolutely insane. So the players transfer over here, that fast is absolutely mental. So we've seen that side of things. How about the Real Madrid side of things, transfer-wise? What's been happening for Real Madrid in the last 2 seasons? Endrick came in, of course, did. Upamecano's there as well now. Shal Mario from Porto, Diamonde from Sporting, and even Rasmus Højlund for 158 million. Oh my days. How have they not won more stuff with this guy up front now? It's absolutely insane fee. Him and Endrick being the strike force Real Madrid at this point, they still haven't managed to win anything domestically whilst being in England. Musiala went there for 108 million. Hugo Sique came in from Freiburg as well. Not a bad little right back option as well. He came in for him. And Reece Nelson, oddly enough, on loan from Arsenal. That's a bit of a weird one that came in there. Sales-wise, though, nothing big ones. Lamar left, Lazari, Nico Pazin for 8 million. So no real big ones there. But a lot of money spent so far for Real Madrid. And not a lot of success to show for it. Right, season number 4. Let's go. So, season number 4, and you can guess who won the league title. Even looking at the screen, it's Manchester City. They won the league yet again because that's what they do. Liverpool 2nd, Barcelona in 3rd. Newcastle in 4th, and Real Madrid come in 5th position yet again. Absolute stinker for Real Madrid this season, yet again, failing to win anything. And they lost the FA Cup final again. How do they keep losing these finals? Hoyland scored from McAllister, Silva, and Mo Salah. Man can still get goals for Liverpool at this point of his career. He's 34 now, and he's still absolutely bagging goals from as Liverpool win the FA Cup this season. In terms of the Carabao Cup, they were much better off there. They actually won the Carabao Cup this season. They beat Brighton 3-2. We can't view the fixture. It's so long ago now. But you can see there, Real Madrid managed to win themselves a Carabao Cup this season. So they've won some silverware there, at least this season. But yeah, on the flip side, Barcelona, how have they been looking? In terms of, like, there's some good fun this year in the Premier League. FA Cup, they were knocked out by Newcastle in the 3rd round. So they've had a stinker there as well. And the Carabao Cup, they lost to Chelsea in the 1st round of that as well. So Barca have had a real bad season. I mean, they've had a better finishing 3rd in the Prem this season, but only on 77 points. They're millions of miles away behind Liverpool and Manchester City right now. But Lamine Yamal's had a great season, getting the golden boot this season, beating Erling Haaland to it. He's redeveloping now, 19 years of age. He looks absolutely insane. He looks absolutely insane. It wouldn't be surprised though if Man City come in and poach him at some point in these simulations. Siemens at Arsenal as well now, and Colombo, Aston Villa. So a few transfers have happened now by this point within the save. But interestingly enough, what have been the big ones over at Barcelona this season? Anything else really been happening? They bought in Cal Honglu for 12 million, and they bought in this guy from Studbury. He's a new gen. He's a keeper. He looks quite rubbish, honestly. So I'm not sure what Barcelona are doing there exactly. In terms of sales out from the club this season, 25 million. Kalulu went for Napoli. Eric Manta went for 3.3 million, and a few other smaller transfers there. What about the other side of Spain? Real Madrid. What have they been doing in this most recent transfer window? They bought Moani in from PSG. So they got Moani, Endrick, Hoyland, and they even bought Jadon Sancho for £20 million as well. So a lot of struggle over at Real Madrid right now. They still can't seem to win anything. And then transfer-wise, nothing's really happened. A few loans out, but nothing massive happening this season for Real Madrid. They did manage to win themselves the Carabao Cup. Let's go forward now another year and see what happens with Real Madrid and Barcelona. We're back for the final season of our Real Madrid-Barcelona experiment, then playing in the Premier League. Did they ever win a Premier League trophy? No, they didn't, because Man City have done it again. Man City every season and got Barcelona in 9th. What on earth happened to Barcelona this season? They've dropped off massively. Okay, well, let's touch on Real Madrid first. Real Madrid sitting 2nd in the league in our final season here. They failed to win the Premier League still, Real Madrid. They couldn't go all the way. But domestically, how did they get on this time round? They lost again in the FA Cup final. I feel like every season at this point now, they've lost in the FA Cup final. 2 penalties this time, losing to Arsenal this time round. Barco, Martinelli, Pacho and Rice getting the goals. Sancho and Moani, the new transfers from last season, missing out in that final for them and seeing them crash out there. In terms of the Carabao Cup as well, they lost to Arsenal there as well. So, I mean, they've not had a great season, really. Arsenal have absolutely bothered them everywhere they've been. Transfer-wise, what have they been the big hitters for this new window? They brought in this guy. Who on earth is this guy? He looks pretty darn good for a left-back option here. Guitarras came into Real Madrid this season for just over £40 million, 41 million there. Nico came from Porto. Barcelona youth graduate has gone to Real Madrid. Nico now in this transfer as well. Interesting enough. Bella Kocher for Bayern Munich for 36 million. Johnny and a few other smaller ones in there. Joe Scaloni on a free transfer is a great little shout as well as a backup player for them this season. In terms of sales, they sold Jude Bellingham for 182 million. I mean, anyone that sees the shirt behind me, I don't know how I feel about that. Jude Bellingham at 20, he's only 24 at this point as well by 2028. It's insane, isn't it? 400 grand a week. He's made the switch over to Paris Saint-Germain to be their main guy now. 180 million is absolutely insane. Rudiger went over to Saudi Arabia. Luka Cannizaro went to Betis. Mukiele went to Brighton for 6.5 million. So a few smaller ones, but the big one being Jude making that switch over to Paris Saint-Germain. Right, let's go into the schedule now and have a look at them. Barcelona. What has been happening with our friends from Spain in Barcelona? Well, Real Madrid beat them 1-0 at the end of the season there, you can see now. But yeah, Barca, what's been happening? They've brought in Joan Barbara as a manager, so that obviously they've sacked off now Maurizio. And who have they brought in since then? Now, transfer-wise. We'll go transfers first, and then we'll have a look about how they've been doing this season. So, transfer-wise, last season, that was what they brought in. They're definitely broke by this point, surely, because they've brought in no more transfers. So, Salim Yakas for 35 million. And nothing really big, 25 million for this guy, Quim, who is 21-year-old midfielder he's at Porto now. He looks pretty good, to be fair. He does look pretty good. But what has been happening over at Barcelona to make things so bad for them right now? So we can go to the end of the season, of course, in the cup finals. They got to the EFL Cup final, semi-final, losing, of course, to Arsenal because Arsenal just beating everyone this season does seem within this simulation. Premier League-wise, though, it seems to have been losing quite a lot of games this season. If we can go through here now, get a bit more of a better idea. Some big ones this season. They've won quite a lot of big games here, but they lost 3-2 to Wolves, 3-1 to Newcastle, lost to Leicester 3-1, Liverpool 3-1, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United again. So not awful in the league, really, but just a lot of losses in there. 1-0 to Bournemouth, Tottenham, Arsenal, again, Aston Villa, Real Madrid, Newcastle. So it's not been a great season as Barcelona end season number 5, 9th in the Premier League. So there we have it then. 5 years of Barcelona and Real Madrid in the Premier League. The outcome being Man City still the best team in the world. No one could beat them. No one got close. I don't think there was even anyone in touching distance of Man City during the simulation, but we saw some insane transfers. Jude, 180 million. The PSG is absolutely mental. But thank you for watching this video. Have you enjoyed it? I hope you have. If you have done, of course, please make sure as well you're liking the video and subscribing to the channel. We'll see you again very, very soon.